There are ways to keep any country safe, but they are already instituted by God. First of all, you have to believe in separation, laws of separation. Okay, for example, downtown Pittsburgh, and I'm talking about Pittsburgh because that's where I'm from. I can't talk about your end of it because I don't live there, but here in Pittsburgh, it's best if people, first of all, homelessness should be illegal. And to translate, if you think I need to translate it, there shouldn't be nobody allowed to live on the streets in a inner city, large city like downtown Pittsburgh, where everybody comes there together. Okay, you're not there to commute, you're not there to shop, you're not there to do business. Okay, you're not there to sell. Okay, you're not there to enjoy uh the scenery, there for the entertainment. Okay. Five things. So therefore, you shouldn't be down there. The dumb thing that they did here in Pittsburgh is they moved housing downtown Pittsburgh. We got a couple apartment buildings downtown Pittsburgh now. It all started when they started putting all these McDonald's downtown Pittsburgh. They went from putting McDonald's downtown Pittsburgh to putting housing down there. Okay. Dumb choice. There was no housing. There may have been one McDonald's on the outskirts of downtown Pittsburgh, heading back out of Pittsburgh. Okay, it was right there on a route between Pittsburgh and Oakland or something like that. Down near by the end of town near the state office. If you know anything about downtown Pittsburgh, okay. It was the only McDonald's in town. Then they put another one and another one, another one. Then they put a Burger King and they put a Wendy's and you know what I'm saying. These are places where, and I know what they're doing. They're trying to open up downtown Pittsburgh to the needy, to the less fortunate. But less fortunate, helping the less fortunate is not very safe. Okay, there's other parts of town where they can go to McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even make enough money down there. That's why they're all moving out, because they don't make enough money down there because classy people don't go to them places. Don't nobody go all the way downtown Pittsburgh from another state to go to McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, they want to go there and go to the classy places. Okay. So you got housing down there. You got these fast food restaurants down there causing problems in the city. Okay, they moved out. You know, Kaufman's and Gimmels. That's over with. J.C. Penney's. Well, J.C. Penney still exists, but the franchise is a lot smaller now. They're never in any of the large cities anymore. They got rid of Goffman's, Kimmel's, J.C. Penney's. We have a Macy's downtown. Okay, and we have a Target. We have a Target. Now I don't mind that because Target is like kind of middle class, So they're building a Target right across from Macy's or right around the corner from Macy's, downtown Pittsburgh. Okay, so okay, so that's just an example of how separation politics works. You got to consider the kind of people that are shopping there, that are commuting there. Now, you got people who ride the bus. Okay, beautiful. That's how I got into Pittsburgh in the beginning. I used to ride the bus. When I lived in the ghetto, I used to have to get the bus and get off downtown Pittsburgh, get on another bus like I'm doing right now. Okay. And that's how I decided to put my head up and try to go for I always wanted to work in them tall office buildings and hotels and stuff downtown Pittsburgh because they're so beautiful. There's so many floors and the people there look so cool and they act so cool. I wanted to be there and now I'm finally there. And I got to deal with thug life every day. I got to deal with thugs, and I got to deal with um, crazy people that um, think somebody owes them something. They come down there with an attitude, and they just are a nuisance to everybody. Not to mention the homeless people. Okay, doing the same thing. So that's the problem we have, where separation politics is not enforced. Back in the day, okay, and it all started when we started saying that, oh, when we started feeling like we have to baby black Americans, and I don't want to get too far into that, but you know, most of the people that are in these situations where they may never get out are usually African Americans, okay? Or black Americans, or however you want to, whatever you want to call us, okay? We're the ones that can't get out of certain situations, okay? Once we allow ourselves to get in there, we can't get out. So it seems. So it seems, okay? But the fact of the matter is, we're there and we shouldn't be there, okay? And so we need the government and the city and the state to do all these things for us. And then when they do it for us, we don't appreciate it. We go down there and we want to terrorize, and we want to harass, and we want to show how jealous we are of people that are living higher than us. This is why you have to have that separation, because you put us all there together, there's bound to be war. Wealthy people who are able to you know spend thousands of dollars on their vacation, okay, and they should be able to go to the wealthy part of any city and be safe. That's the American way. Wealthy people, entrepreneurs and rich people, and people, people that own their own businesses, and that when they travel and they spend thousands of dollars on a vacation, they shouldn't have to worry about some dude like this brother, like I just got nothing talking about, coming in there causing trouble. Okay, they spent thousands of dollars on this trip, and they come all the way into this city, giving Pittsburgh a chance because they figure they're going into the best, resorts and accommodations. They don't expect to see Mr. Haitian dude come in there and act a fool. Okay, they don't expect to see that. Okay, and that's why you have to have separation in these kind of situations. Okay, if people don't have what they need, and this is the way it was in the 80s when I was a youngster, and there was a curfew and everything else. If people aren't downtown Pittsburgh for the right reasons, they shouldn't be down there. There's no homeless people down there. There's no people down there that can't afford to buy anything. There's no people down there, acting crazy and trying to bum things off other people. These people don't exist where the money's at. These people don't exist where the wealthy people are hanging out. And wealthy people become wealthy not only because of the money, but to get away from this kind of atmosphere. This is why these white folks, they get their businesses and they move to the suburbs. And I watch these people every day take their take their business out of Pittsburgh and move it further out into the suburbs. And they do this why? To get away from the crime, to get away from ignorant behind people. This is why they do it. Okay? Um they do it to feel safe. They do it to be able to leave the front of the store open and walk around the back. Okay? And not worry about somebody coming in the front with a gun while they walking around the back waiting for them. Okay? You know what I'm saying? That's the life that they want to have. You know what I mean? I used to go to a middle class neighborhood that was like predominantly white. So many blacks living there, maybe there's a little bit of Asian here and there. You know, a beautiful town called Vandergrift, but this was back in the day. And I'd go in there and I asked these two lovely white ladies one time, in this t-shirt store or whatever it was. They had their own business. I says, how do I get to such and such an office? They said, oh, let's give you a shortcut. They invited me to go through the back of the store, okay, all the way through the merchandise where they store all their merchandise and all their money at, all the way through that to the back of the store where they got their little living quarters back there, you know what I mean, living room and dining room and wine and beer and everything, and got a little bar back there and everything, all the way back there through the back. And they said, this is the best way I can tell you how to get to the other place. Now, how often do you see that, especially in my situation? How often do you see that? Okay? These ladies weren't just nice, they felt safe. And me coming in there being brown skinned didn't make them feel unsafe, because they know that anybody that comes there ain't this freak that showed up last night, okay? They know that we're people there looking for legitimate business. We're there to buy and sell and get things there that we can't get in Pittsburgh or we can't get other places, okay? And so these women had no fear about me. They had no fear of anybody coming in their store. They never ever get robbed, okay? In that part of town, okay? Got other issues, like issues with the school board and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But they don't have crime issues, okay? And this is where people go when this is the kind of place that people go to live and move their business when they want to get it away from the crime areas, okay? So separation politics is laws of separation should be increased and should be in place, okay? What else? Also, you know, everybody should, um, like I said, homelessness should be illegal. There should be no such thing as homelessness in a place like America, okay? Homelessness should be illegal. What else should be illegal? Um, you know what I'm saying? There's other things that should be illegal too. Um, I'm trying to think of some things that we do, other things that we do that we shouldn't do every day. Okay. Um, we all should single people out by their beliefs, by what they believe. Okay. Um, this is where Jesus comes in. The more spiritual you are about, let's say, your love life, your sex life, the more spiritual you are, the more tight you are about it, the more of a person that you can be trusted. You're more of a person that people can trust to be around somebody else's wife or to be around somebody's kid or whatever. Because why? You have very strong moral laws about your sexuality. You know what I mean? And that causes you to have a personality and an attitude that people can trust. Okay. Another example is the way we're bringing these immigrants into our nation, and we're putting them in places where they don't belong. They don't belong with people that have built their own homes. They don't belong out there where people own property and business and so forth like that and have their own. They don't belong with these people. You don't put these kind of people with these people. Okay? They don't belong in places where there's not enough law enforcement, where there's not wall to wall police everywhere. You're going to bring people in here and you don't know who they are. You need to have wall to wall police everywhere, enforcing the law, letting them know what they can and cannot do because they don't know any better. They need to be taught and they need to be warned, basically even threatened. Because telling them, if they was already a criminal in their own country, and then they come here and they think they're gonna get away with stuff they couldn't get away with in their own country. You can't just tell them. You got to warn them. You got to threaten them. Let them know. Look here. Okay. But another thing about separation, laws of separation, is that there was a reason. It wasn't just about the color of skin that blacks were taken as slaves during slavery. It was because they were non-American. Okay, and they didn't, and America had its culture, and it didn't want somebody like what happened with Europe and the Arabs and the Asians, coming in and doing the crap that they did. They didn't want at that time, and that was one of the reasons why they had one problem with the Indians, another problem with blacks, another problem with this group and that group. Every group that's ever come into America has something to complain about. This is the thing. If you're not family, if you're not um the culture, nobody has to treat you like family or like the culture when you're not the family, you're not the culture. We don't know you. So why should you be treated as all these things when don't nobody know you? Okay? No, we need to know you and know your personality, know what you're capable of. Can you add anything to this country? Can you add anything positive to this country before we start treating you like our best, most trusted guests? Okay? No, you have to have what it takes to be here. We already got enough people that are born and raised here that don't know what the hell they're doing here. They just wasting the government's money. They just waste wasting the president's money. They just wasting, our taxes and that. Because not only are they always trying to get something solicited that doesn't need to be solicited, trying to make something legal that doesn't need to be legal. Okay? But they just come in here and they don't care about work. They don't care about, business. They don't care about, capitalism. They don't care about, they don't care about building anything for themselves. Okay? This causes problems between races. This causes problems between cities and states and neighborhoods, and this causes problems in business. Okay? So that's another thing that needs to be addressed, that's cute, needs to be fixed. So I think I'm going to stop there, but adding to what I just said, one of the ways that we have safety in America is to have separation politics. Back in the 80s, we had it. I remember vividly. I remember perfectly. Okay. That we had separation politics back in the day, and it wasn't just a black and white issue, because I didn't suffer that. It was an issue where people of a neighborhood that you know, we all went to church. We all um we all were like rooters of the businesses in our town, and we all were very protective of our town. We were very patriotic about our town. Okay? And when crime was committed, everybody was talking about it. It wasn't just your problem or my problem or their problem over there. No. If crime happened in our city, everybody was talking about it. People were sharing information and all like that. And so this person, if he didn't get caught by the police, so help him God. Because pretty soon the neighborhood people got a hold of this brother, and you know what I'm saying? Some of us had to go to court for what happened to this brother. Him coming in there acting a fool, starting trouble in that neighborhood. Today it's different. It's like everything is all about everybody's got rights, and you got to let them do this, and no, we ain't got to let them do nothing. Okay, but come in there and behave himself. You ain't gotta let them do nothing. You come in here, you pay your taxes like everybody else. You pay rent like everybody else. You shop and have to pay the cost of living just like everybody else. You don't get to be special. And then while you being special, you think you can just what? Go out there and walk on people's property? You know what I mean? And act like you own the place. You got the lowest money out of everybody that lived there. You ain't got no property. You don't own anything. Okay? And you think you can just walk on people's property. I got a neighbor that does that. He got his own property up top. He got to come down here and walk on mine. Look. You know what I'm saying? And this is the kind of crap that we have to undergo because people think it's wrong today for people to be different. Even the dogs and cats, like we're friends with everybody. It's like, back in the day, I could walk across anybody's property and they didn't even have to tie up their dog because everybody made sure their dogs were friendly to everybody. You know what I'm saying? People were so trusting because they did the right things to have that trust between us that I could walk on your property and rob your house and walk right past your Saint Bernard, walk right past your Rottweiler because why? We were comfortable with each other like that because we trusted each other like that because we had things in common like that, like the church. We had that in common with each other. We had the church in common. We had so many things in common. Okay? So I'm going to close there. Look, we need to get back to having things in common. People of a flock need to stick together. Okay? Or how birds of a feather need to go back to sticking together. Okay? And we need to not just be patriotic about whether we're Republican or Democrat, but we need to be patriotic about our own neighborhoods. We need to be patriotic about each other. We need to be patriotic about our jobs. And one thing I like about my job, my new job, I like it because everybody there is very, very much at peace with each other, and we have like a code there that we don't cross, and which is good because we're all different. So we have to have that code among us that we don't cross. However, when it comes to people on the outside, we're afraid to put our foot down, okay? Which is why we got, you know, which is makes it hard for security because we're not allowed to put our foot down and treat anybody like they're an outcast. But like this fool that came in there yesterday, he was definitely an outcast whether we treat him with one or not. I could have asked him to leave when he got in there, but I let him come in there and do what he came there to do. And then he gonna come in there and be ignorant about it and be nasty about it because he think he punked me because I let him get past me and do what he wanted to do. I figure, okay, he's just gonna take a piss and get out of here, man. But then he had to come out of there being ignorant, and we're just standing around and sitting around. He's coming out there acting like a daggone animal. Okay? And this is why this is why people like that shouldn't even be downtown. He's not going to buy nothing. He's not going to sell anything. Okay? He's not going to do nothing but rape somebody or rob somebody and end up in prison. And how many victims is he going to have laying out somewhere before they finally nail us behind? Okay? This is why you have to be hard on sin. This is why you have to be hard on crime. This is why there is no time for that democratic leftist have mercy on everybody, treat everybody equal garbage, because everybody's not equal. This guy wasn't equal with anybody in there last night. Okay? He wasn't equal with nobody. But somebody like himself that's a douchebag, that's a dirty person like himself. And if he met a dirty person like himself, he'd probably kill him or eat him. I don't know. But this is why we have to tighten up the separation politics. We have to tighten up, the way we handle criminals. We have to tighten up our cities and make them more about like either you're in or you're out kind of deal. Okay, you're either worthy or unworthy. If you're worthy to be here, have a great time. If you're not worthy to be here, get out. It ain't about, being mean. It's not about being nasty and not being democratic enough or not, bowing to the victims enough, not kissing enough feet and getting down on one knee or some junk. No, if people don't belong there, if this is not a good spot for them, they don't need to be there. Okay? And that's the way it was back in the 80s. We need to get back to that. In Jesus' name. I got to go because I got another video playing while this one is going on. So I know it's not going to record the whole time. So God bless you. Thank you for watching. I am DeRoy Cruz. I am your Life Applications Officer. Thank you for watching.